lined up for you tonight. It's going to be a good night, man. Episode 12, Season 2.
Woo!
It's going to be a very fucking funny episode, guys. We got Anyi Malik. Very funny Anyi Malik. Woo! We got motherfucking Jonathan Galeano. Make some noise for Jonathan Galeano. He brought some drinks and shit he's going to bring out. I think he's got some champagne to pop on stage. It's going to be badass. And usually he's our musical conductor playing everyone in and out. But tonight he's going to be our musical guest. Ladies and gentlemen, Norman Davis in the motherfucking house. Yeah! He's going to be our halftime show. So now let's get the show started, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to catch you up, as I usually do. My son turned 1.5 this week. Really exciting, man. He's starting to develop a personality, unfortunately. We're getting into what they call the terrible twos, man. He's holy shit. He's cute and all, but he's starting to manipulate us. He's fake crying now just for attention. I don't know where he got this shit from. Maybe his mom. But he got his hair color from her, his eye color from her, his fucking skin tone. So yeah, that's all her. But I love him. You know, I'm proud of him regardless. That's my jizz right there, guys, okay? I feel like fucking DJ Khaled every time I look at this bastard. I'm just so proud. Speaking of jizz and stuff, a man named Jason Seaman in Indiana stopped a school shooting, which is pretty badass. But it's like, this is real, guys. I mean, we're in a simulation or some shit because it's just writing itself, okay? Seaman shooting, what the fuck? Am I not supposed to talk about this? I mean, it's a really good thing, too. Trump came out and said that, what did he say? He says his quick and automatic action is being talked about all around the world.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's quick and automatic. Seaman, man. So fucking reliable. Good job, dude. He saved so many young and precious lives. You know, they are precious. I mean, not all the dudes I grew up with are precious, but, you know, good. I'm glad that fucking we're stopping this shit. I mean, it's just getting out of control. Speaking of school shootings, David Hogg, is that his name, Eric?
Yeah.
David Hogg, he's a Parkland victim. He held an anti-gun rally against school shootings at a grocery store. Clearly he didn't finish high school. I don't know. I mean, it's not even summertime. Why isn't he in class right now, okay? All your other fucking friends went back to school, and you're over here holding anti-fucking school shooting rallies at a grocery store. The vegans are already there doing their shit against bacon, man. I mean, come on. Just go somewhere else, all right? Dumb. But yeah, I get it. Stop shooting each other. People going crazy and shit. Florida is they had a ban on smokable weed, and it got ruled unconstitutional this week. I mean, I guess they're really used to edibles and shit in Florida. They have bath salts, which turns everyone into zombies and shit. So I get why they don't want smokable weed. They just love that crazy shit in Florida, man. They're used to zombies there. The House passed, was it 50 million?
Yeah.
50 million grant for the war on drugs for Jeff Sessions. Mind you, Colorado alone made 75 million last year in profits. Right now, man, they're just giving this fucking troll something to do, all right? It's like, he's such a little asshole. He thinks bad people smoke weed. And they're not really even going to give him the funding to try to fight this war reasonably. I mean, it's like giving your little brother a PS2 controller that isn't plugged in. They're just giving him something to do, man. Little fucker. And, you know, mind you, the whole point of the war on drugs was to, what was it? Reduce, how is it? Violence?
Yeah.
They just wanted to reduce violence in general. Guys, smoke weed. That reduces violence, okay? Just saying. Anyways, Hi Tonight Show, episode 12. Let's get started. What do you say? Let's go! We brought a bunch of drinks, a bunch of people. He's a badass dude. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Jonathan Galeano! Yeah! What's up, man?
I just like to say before I pop it that I warned Victor this shit might explode like on the camera and stuff.
I'm down with
So I
that.
want to clear with the Jew first.
Launch it in a certain direction. You'll be okay with the Jew.
Alright, just fair
Here we
warning.
go. Everybody look out. Holy shit. Yeah! Here you go, man. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise, Jonathan Galeano!
We're off to a fucking smooth start. Dope. Fucking A.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, first of all. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I would like to just get some shit off my chest really quick. Before I came to the garage, I went to the Food for Less to buy like water and ice and shit for the show. I got some Pepino Limon Gatorade too. That's for everyone. By far the best flavor. But I had to use the restroom. So I went and it was locked. They had a code and shit. And then I finally went and I got the code from someone. And I went and there was a Mexican woman about to go into the restroom with her baby into the men's room. And I was like, dude, just go. So I went to go use the women's and I started putting in the code. And I put it in like 4 times. I started changing it up and shit. I ended up locking the women's restroom's door. So like if this is pre-recorded, but if you're watching this later and you shop at the Food for Less on Western and you had to take a shit or something, I'm really sorry. I fucked it up. My bad. God damn it. Yeah. That'll be alright. That was a cool dude there. He looked like he was on top of it. He should be here. He looked high as fuck. He should be part of the fucking crew. Yeah, I like people like talking to me about technology. In like random people, just because, and I get it. Like I know what I look like. I'm very aware. So I had the conversations about like artificial intelligence, self-driving cars is a big one. I've had that conversation so many times. You always hear like the key points. Like I've had it too many times. Like it's always like, dude, the technology for self-driving cars, right? Like it's incredible. And how's it gonna affect society? You know, what are the implications? I don't think people realize that self-driving cars have been around forever. Has anyone ever driven home blackout drunk? Yeah, you see, you have that Tesla technology in your brain. Yeah, the other big one is artificial intelligence. And I don't mind it because it's trippy shit. I feel like I still have champagne in my little... yeah, it's trippy shit. Like artificial intelligence is happening. It could already be happening, and I've had that conversation a million times. Fucked up, not fucked up, just anywhere. And you always hear this. It's how are we gonna know, man? How are we gonna know that the machines have become sentient? I personally have no idea when it's gonna happen, or if it's gonna. It might not even like no one might know. It might be really subtle, right? But when it does happen, I feel like there's gonna be some pretty big fucking clues. Like it's gonna be pretty obvious that the machines have gained consciousness when female sex robots start freaking the fuck out when dudes try to come on them. Because you know there's gonna be like weird dudes starting new fetishes and shit. There's gonna be that guy that's like, take off your backplate, I want to come on your CPU. But that would destroy me. Like, that's the moment we have to be like, fuck, we have to give them rights, I think. It's time to, they're learning and they're feeling shit. Oh man. Fucking A. I know that I give off like kind of creepy vibes myself. Weird vibes, you know? Which is interesting because like every single girl I've ever dated is always like pleasantly surprised when they find out that I'm not into choking. And it's true, I'm not. There's a very specific reason why too. The first woman I ever had sex with just completely ruined it for me. She was like 30 years old. She was like a solid 10 years older than I was. I was like 19, late bloomer. And but she was a woman. You know what I mean? Like she was all kinky and shit. She already knew what she liked. So she asked me to choke her, which I complied. I wanted to lose my virginity. Like if it makes you, if I cause you physical discomfort, makes you feel comfortable, fuck whatever, right? So I did it, and I realized something like immediately. When you're losing your virginity, you're supposed to be staring deeply into your partner's eyes with love and passion, not watching the life slowly drain. That's not what I had anticipated. And this happened in my 1996 Toyota Previa. If you don't know the model, that is a fucking van. So just picture this shit. There I was, late at night, choking a girl in my van.
Oh my God.
That shit could not have been creepier.
Holy shit.
I remember at one point I like looked out into the darkness of the night. And I looked around my fucking creepy van, kind of a little bit. And I looked at her, and I was so like confused and overstimulated by how I was losing my virginity that just for like a split second, my mind was like, am I supposed to kill this girl? Like I hadn't planned on it, but when in Rome, you know, like. So I helped assist in an autopsy. It's a fucked up transition. On a different night, not the same night I lost my virginity. Yeah, I used to work in a hospital. I was a laboratory technician, and one day me and my friend were like dicking around in the lab, and the pathologist walked in. He's like the big cheese, and he was like, "Hey, does anybody want to help assist in an autopsy?" And I got up out of my seat. I get to see a dead body. I fucking love Stand By Me. I was like, yes, I am in. And then when I looked at my friend too, because it was for both of us, and I was like, dude, we have to do this. And my friend was like he didn't want to do it. I don't blame him too. He's a black dude, and black dudes believe in like ghosts and spirits and shit. So I was like, all right. I was like, I'll pass on that. So I finally convinced him to do it. We got all scrubbed up and shit, and we walked into the room, and there was a naked male Caucasian lying on a slab on his back. And he was a fucking big dude, and he looked like bloated and shit. And the very first thing they asked me and my friend to do was flip him from his back onto his stomach. And it actually took both of us to do this. He's a big fucking dude. And when we finally flipped him over, I guess from like the pressure, we just immediately heard the sound of gas seeping out of his asshole. And this wasn't, yes, wait. It wasn't for like 5 or 10 seconds. Like, this went on for minutes. Loud, audible seeping. I'm not the most mature person in the world, but my boss's boss is in the room. The guy who runs the lab, doctors, I'm keeping my shit together. I'm like, dude, just be cool. Like, fucking, you do this shit every day. And I'm like shaking. And I look over my friend. And like, we had those face masks on so you don't breathe in bone dust and shit. But I could tell that he was smiling with his eyes. And that fucking destroyed me. Like, I was like laughing the hardest I had from fighting it. Like, just the hardest I'd ever laughed in my entire life. It hurt. And I was like there. And then I actually like, I stopped laughing. And I got teary-eyed. Because I realized how special that moment truly was. This is this man's very last fart. And are you truly dead if you're still making people happy? I don't think so. That's it, I'm gonna end on that. Farts.
Galeano, ladies and gentlemen! Thanks for bringing all the drinks and everything. You're badass.
Oh
man.
yeah, there's
Appreciate
like
that. You got fucking
for everybody.
champagne. Like, that's a big deal. Can someone bring out that champagne that he popped? I want that shit. I'd love some. What is it with you and death, man? Like I feel it too, right? I gravitate towards like skulls and death and shit like that. But you talk about like choking bitches and fucking like dead bodies and dead farts. Like, is that something that kind of like you gravitate towards? You say? I mean,
not really.
No, that's just one aspect.
No, that's just I watch and I fucking. I just watch, and the shit that's funny to me, like, that's a one-in-a-lifetime experience. To, like, autopsy and to have that shit happen.
Oh, really? What were you trying to do that, like, as a class or something like that?
No, I was a lab tech for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
So you dealt with that a lot?
Yeah, well, that was the first autopsy I ever did.
No shit.
And it was a fucking doozy.
So other than that, you deal with live people? Is that what it is?
Yeah, like laboratory work and stuff. Like blood work and stuff.
You're like a smart dude, huh?
Yeah.
And how does smoking mix with all that? Does that help or?
I do more acid and mushrooms, to be honest.
Really?
Mhm.
Oh shit! You take trips, man. I prefer mushrooms because they're like more natural. You know, acids
Right.
always felt. Holy shit! Thank you, sir.
Thanks,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you so much, Eric. Cheers, man. Acid always felt like super synthetic. You know, like man-made shit. It affects me.
Yeah,
It's
but
too negative.
yeah, I mean, it all depends, dude. It depends on your mood, who you are as a
Yeah.
person.
Which do you prefer between the two?
I like them both a lot.
Do you do both at the same time?
Yeah, a little bit. and
Holy shit!
I like a light dose of both. It's actually like
Are you one of those
ideal.
microdosers?
sometimes.
Yeah, like you
Sort
just
of.
do like little bits every single day, all the time. That's
Mm,
something that like it's good for your brain, I think, right? It reduces
Possibly.
stress, they say, and like completely flips around depression. I mean, that's really great. How long have you been
Yeah.
doing that?
I mean, I've been like dabbling with it for a long time, years, just on my own. But like actually like paying attention to microdosing and what they, yeah, because it helps with like compulsions. It helps people with depression, anxiety, ADHD, all kinds of shit. Yeah, I've been like recently they're doing a lot more studies
Mm-hmm.
and
Compulsion is a big comedian thing. Every
Fuck
comedian's
yeah.
got some compulsion on them, man. How long have you been doing comedy?
a year.
A year now? You're fucking hilarious, dude.
Thanks, man. I appreciate
Where
it.
you from?
Well, I'm from here. I was born in LA.
Oh yeah, and like so you started out doing like all this medical shit, and then you got into comedy after that. I mean, where'd you fall into it?
Yeah,
Is it something you always wanted to do?
no, not really. I always appreciated it. I always thought it was awesome, but it wasn't until I started watching live shows
Mm.
where I really like being in the room, like at the Comedy Store and stuff, like being in the belly room or being in the original room or something and seeing someone do it right there. It's like, fuck, I think I could do that. Like it became that less
And who do you
remote,
watch?
you know?
You like watch?
From
I
s-
love like Joe Rogan. He's always there. Joey Diaz.
Joe
He's
Diaz
a
is
heavy
fucking
fucking smoker.
awesome. Yeah, I love Joe Diaz.
Man, yeah. I like his style because he always goes on stage high as hell. I always feel it's not fair to the audience unless I'm fucked up. I mean,
Right.
doing anything, performing sober is just like I just pay attention to the time. You know, like it doesn't.
Right.
It's boring.
Yeah.
So how old are you, man?
28.
28.
What was that?
You look good, dude.
Thank you.
28, and you're in medical. I mean, are you gonna become like a doctor or some shit? Or are you just gonna
No, that was the job I had. I'm not following that at all.
No.
It was cool. I enjoyed it, but I'm just in a little bit of a lot of shit. I was a computer tech dude for a company also.
No shit.
Yeah, the company I work for now does biomedical transportation.
Biomedical.
Transportation.
What do y'all transport? Like fucking hearts and shit?
No, everyone always jumps to hearts. No,
Did I?
no, we actually have transported like an elephant heart and shit.
An
We're
elephant heart.
Cancer research. Fucking, we transport diseases. We're gonna transport polio and shit.
Do you
Retro.
drive fucking like AIDS around or something? Wow,
Possibly.
you're like a fucking Uber for diseases, huh? That's fucking wild, man.
And cures too,
And
not just the
cures.
disease. Yeah.
Well, yeah, usually they're related, right? Man,
Sure.
well, that's badass. Do you have anything coming up you want to promote?
No, not really. I'm actually not doing.
Well,
I'm not doing like bringer shows or anything for a little bit. So the next underground thing like this, I fucking love the underground comedy scene. No two fucking cover.
what are your
bullshit
favorite
here.
shows to go to?
It's been a long time.
You gotta check the comedy.
Once you start doing
bureau.
comedy, you stop.
Yeah, you just keep going, right? You just do a bunch of shit. Yeah.
Or you're just doing shows all the time, or you're doing open mics and stuff. But
Well, I hope you stick around for Garage Mike after
yeah,
that.
dude, for sure.
Absolutely. Guys, make some noise for Jonathan. He was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Hey, man, stick around. We're gonna do- Let's keep the show rolling. Ladies and gentlemen, Anyi Malik! Let's go.
Wow, hi. I think you moved that light a little bit. If it looks a little different than the last shot, I need to back up. Am I in frame? Am I in frame? How am I in frame? Am I good? I'm out of frame if I stand on this, though, huh? Do I gotta lean with it. What if I post up like this? Is this sturdy? I don't want to break this
It's all
on.
It's
glass.
not sturdy.
It's not sturdy.
Not at all.
Okay, so I gotta do a soft lean. It's that soft lean, that ghost lean. Yes, that soft, just the points. I'm really just posing, but I'm just, just got the balance points ever so gently connected, so I could give the illusion of a lean. And then with some some fool comes up and tries to lean next to me. He breaks it. And I'm like, oh man, look at what you did. How could you do that? Be careful, man. I wasn't even really leaning on it. I was just kind of just balancing. It was a balancing act. I'm Anyi Malik. Am I in frame for real?
Yes.
Okay.
Got
Okay. Audience, you guys can see. I am. Oh, I have an album out. Let me not forget my plugs, you guys. Wow. I have some albums out, but my latest album is called Pop Grits. I like grits. You know. I call my jokes grits because you know they fill your soul. You know. I don't know. I like grits. There was like a argument on the internet, like whether you put sugar or salt on the grits, and that was like they would like use that to judge you as a character. But it was like, you know, like if you put salt on the grits, like I don't know, that's how it's supposed to be, or if you put sugar on it, that's how it's supposed to be. But if you don't, like you as a person or something, you know, it's like it was too much judgment for the grits, you know. I was just used to see people people just get grits, you know, just get the grits. That's what's important. At least you having grits, you know. Some people don't even get to have grits, and that's what they want you to do. They want you to argue amongst yourselves, these cream of wheat elitists, you know. It's a conspiracy. I'm sorry, I get carried away sometimes. I get so passionate about these grits issues. But yeah, Pop Grits is on. It's on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play. Alexa know who I am. Siri, fuck with yo, put it, demand it. It's also on the streams. You can stream it. Everybody don't pay for it. Go ahead, go ahead and stream it if you gotta stream it. It's all good. I'll take a little 29 cents. It's all gravy, you know. The streamer player. You all right, sir? You good? Everything's gonna work. Or you need some liquid. Oh, you got it. Blessings.
Oh shit.
You good? Okay. You gonna stream that album? You gonna stream Pop Grits? Stream Pop Grits on your Spotify, Pandora. It's on Tidal. If you fuck with Jay-Z shit like that, that's tight. It's on Did I say Pandora? I said Pandora already. Okay. Napster. They got Napster back. Is Napster's cracking. What's the other streams? It's a lot of streams. Hulu?
Yeah.
Oh, no. My album ain't available on Hulu, but I did make an appearance on Hulu. But I don't get no royalties for shouting it out, so you can search it on your own terms. You know, when you get a chance, check me out. But just search my name in Hulu. Some shit pop up with your boy. But let's focus back to my streams, okay? Merrily, life is. Wait, no, I think I messed up the fairy tale. I like Pandora, the free version, just because the app, I could just push the button, you know, and I don't mind the commercials. I don't mind commercial breaks to just get the curated little automatic genome playlist. That's tight. I mean, you can't avoid advertisement anyways. That's just like a part of life. It's like death, taxes, and these billboards. You gonna get them, you know. But I just don't like how the Pandora commercials come on. You know, like the way they interrupt you. It's like you a child or something. You know. It's like, I get it if you're gonna advertise me, but you don't have to talk to me like I just put down a coloring book. Hey, Pandora listeners. Sorry to interrupt your music, little guy. But you know what's just as awesome as those sweet jams you're jamming out to? Toyota's got 20%. Shut up. That ain't got nothing to do with the music. You're working. Now you ruined my nap and I'm cranky. That was the baby. I had to end it with the baby talk. That's how I end that joke with baby talk. A lot of good stuff like that on the stream networks. I drop bars out with the bars. What happened? Waking the neighborhood up?
My stoner laugh.
Oh, you saw good. it's no microphones, so so you know we all out here. It's audio entertainment. It's tight. If they close caption this, you'll just see hella stammer. I never really knew what a scoff was till I started looking at shit. And I just be saying it. Scoff. I mean, scoff. I never was talking like that till I read closed caption on stuff. But now I'm all about scoffs. That's strange. I used to watch a lot of television growing up, but we didn't have cable. So like it was a lot of just the free stuff. Definitely a lot of commercials. And a lot of infomercials and paid for advertising and Home Shopping Network. We used to watch the Knife Show a lot. That was always like when there was no TV action. Because sometimes I was from the era, they used to there's no TV. You know, if you didn't have cable, there was just no TV. You know, unless you watching the Home Shopping Network or somebody who done pimped their little signal out to the 30-minute Girls Gone Wild commercial, or you know, is however they was pimping it out, the Ron Popeil ovens and shit. Yeah. But you know, the Home Shopping Network, the Knife Show was cool because it was like, I don't know, I was younger, just like looking at knives and swords and shit, and they had like a kind of exciting way of getting you all hyped about the stuff too. I didn't have access to the credit cards, but the way they would holler at you, it was entertainment. Like, I always low-key wanted to get my own knife collector show. But I already knew that, like, it wasn't really for us, like a black dude. And ain't really my drip like that. But I always, like, you know, I always still fantasize, you know. Maybe this might be possible we have... Welcome back to Knives and Swords Noir. You have 5 minutes to get this collection right now. Everything you see here, limited edition. It's going to be gone in 3 minutes. You got the Malcolm X Bushido blade. You got the Harriet Tubman. What is it? The Harriet Tubman katana blade. We've got the Marcus Garvey hunting knife. And I'll even throw in from my personal collection the Harlem Renaissance dagger collection of the Langston Hughes long sword with the James Baldwin short sword. You have 5 minutes, 5 more minutes, man. You know what? You know, I put in these Nat Turner nunchucks. You have 2 minutes to call. I want them to get everything. They said I couldn't have, you know, I'm not going to do everything. No, they said I wouldn't give it out. No, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. And now you get the Malcolm X Bushido blade. You get the Sojourner Truth Ninja Stars. You get everything right here. But I'm also throwing in, out of my personal collection, the Marcus Garvey dagger set. Next up on the docket, these buttes, these George Washington carvers. Did I milk it? Did I talk over my laughs? Sorry, I dream sometimes. I dare to dream. That'd be tight. I got a portable cell phone charger. I'm pretty juiced about that purchase. Like, I feel like the master of my own destiny with this charger. Like, before the charger, I would be the dude that was dancing in the club, like, but not too far from the wall, because I was plugged in right here. Got the long cord, but hold on. Man, I just feel like I've taken destiny into my own hands with this situation. Like, it's a horrible feeling when your battery dies. Like, when your cell phone dies, you as a person feel powerless. You should know what time it is. You don't. You can't communicate with nobody. You're excommunicated from society. You have no face, no value. No tongue, use nothing. You have no voice. Don't ask to use somebody else's phone either. Nobody has compassion for you. Nobody's gonna help you. I'm not gonna help. I don't. When my phone dies, I just deal with it. You know, I don't help because I don't want to. Ain't nothing really that urgent, or I know how to move. You know, I know how to move through the streets. It's all like I'll get to it. You know, if I didn't have, but to ask to use, it's like man, I would rather give you money and you use a payphone than to use my phone. I'm not about to hand over all the what? You crazy. Like the change, you keep the change as your reward for finding a payphone out here in the digital streets. But you did it, you know? But savviness, man, is important, man. Like, you just need too much help. What if this was medieval times and your pigeon died? You couldn't ask to borrow somebody else's pigeon. You would at all eras. Good sir, might I borrow thine pigeon, please? Mine pigeon hath died, please. I must send a message to my offspring's mother of my imminent arrival. Please, my pigeon hath ran out of minutes. No, not me. Thou canst use my carrier, good sir. Thank you. Hatcheth another plan. Thou must hatcheth another plan, good sir. Oh, that it's empty. It's empty. So I should probably wrap it up, huh? You know what's worse than when your battery dies, though? It's like that 7%. You know, at least when the battery is dead, it's final. That 7% is like you hanging on to hope. You know, you always looking at your phone. Like the anxiety is. I'm pretty sure if you went to Rite Aid or Walgreens or any of these places and showed the pharmacist your cell phone on 7%, they'll just give you some Xanax. I'm pretty sure you can get some milligrams on 7% with the battery. I'm like Jason Bourne on 7%. I am. I can walk into any room and tell you where all the power outlets are located. Oh, there's 2 on the back northeast wall, 1 on the ceiling. I'm ready to do it. Maybe putting them on the ceiling sometime. I know. I can look at a person and tell whether or not they have the charger I need before I ask them. Like, I feel like whenever you need a charge, everybody has the charger you don't need. Like, if you need an Android, everybody has the iPhone. When you get your iPhone, you get the upgrade. Everybody has the Android. I did say upgrade. Sometimes they'll tell you they have the 4. That fool downgraded not to help me. Like, you for real got the 4 charger? That's crazy. I asked this dude if he had a charger for the 5, and he told me he only has the 6 charger. And in my mind, I'm very furious because I'm like, you a buster right now. You trying to play me because it's the same charger. You know, you trying to play me right now, and I don't. But I couldn't say that because I needed the charge, so I had to act fake humble, you know, just to get the juice. I was like, you think I might still be able to try it? Just, it might still work if you let me. What? It works. Wow. Thank you so much. Peace of life. Namaste. I did some fake yoga pose. I was all real hollow humble for the juice, man. I'm Anyi Malik though. You stream that album, Pop Grits. That's all the jokes I'm gonna tell right now. Give it up for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Anyi
That's how I close
Malik!
that. Pop Grits.
Fuck yeah, man. Take a seat.
A lot of blunts you got going on.
I got a bunch of them, man. I don't know, like 1, 2, 3,
Man,
5 left.
Is it weird, man? Please have
Yeah,
some
let's
more
get
champagne.
some more champagne.
I know
man.
he put his tongue all in it.
Shit, please, some more
But
champagne. Thank you.
we're addicts
Onion,
for the
man.
champagne.
So your album.
Champagne.
What was the album? Grits and what?
Pop Grits.
Pop Grits.
Pop Grits. I don't think I said it enough either.
Pop Grits. I never tried grits.
You never
Like,
fucked with grits? Oh man, I
I'm
gotta
Mexican,
bring.
man.
I gotta bring some grits back through
I
here.
haven't gotten a hold of some grits yet.
The best grits that I had in Los Angeles was at a Mexican restaurant.
Where you from?
I'm from Oakland.
Oakland. That's where the good grits are at.
It's grits in Oakland. It's a lot of grits places in Oakland, you know. And then, you know, grits on the stove, really the best grits. Grits ain't nothing you really should have to really search for. I get grits.
It could
at the
be like a
grocery store.
dessert, right? It's like kind of like a dessert and also a meal.
It depends on how you trying to do that with the grits. You know, your imagination is the only limits.
Okay. Wow.
As long as your heart is in it, you can make it happen. You can have sweet grits, savory grits. That's what made me so frustrated with the argument with the grits.
How long have you been doing comedy before you released your album?
Which album you talking about? The grits?
Yeah, the grits.
Oh, I released a few. That was my third release.
Really?
Yeah.
So what are your other two?
Doing the Most.
Okay.
And Lamb Chopping. Those are also
Holy
available on the
shit.
same platforms. But fuck with Pop Grits though.
That's the most recent one.
That's the most recent one.
And how long ago did you release that?
You fuck with all of them if you'd like to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna
That's,
check
you
all
know,
those hoes out. Yeah, we're gonna post them all up and everything.
Put Doing the Most out in 2015. And Lamb Chopping. I put that out in 2012.
And how long are these?
Pop Grits is an hour and a little change. Doing the Most and Lamb Chopping are about 35, 36 minutes.
And you do visual or just audio?
No, it's audio. These
It's
are
all straight audio.
Yep. Audio live performances.
Man, I mean, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been doing comedy in total?
I think it should be probably 14 years.
No shit.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Anyi Malik, man.
I'm
Like,
ancient,
damn, man. You're a killer, dude. Like, you're really...
A killer?
Yes, you are hilarious.
Oh, okay. I like hilarious. Killer, you know, I don't need that on my insurance. That is I did kind of get into comedy. Like, what sparked me was a car accident.
Like Kanye West?
Like, I said some funny stuff.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't even really fatal or even life-threatening, but he did hit somebody because I said something funny.
What?
Yeah.
So you weren't driving?
I wasn't driving. I was in the shotgun position. Why do we call that shotgun? Oh, because I don't know. Why do we call that shotgun?
It's up front.
Up front? Yeah. Is that what?
Back in the Midwestern days, they used to have someone up front with the guy driving.
Oh, and the guys. Okay.
Shoot the bandits.
Okay.
That's shotgun seat.
Thank you.
So
I'm glad I didn't Google that, man.
you told someone a joke, and you got what? I mean,
I didn't tell a joke. I said some shit that was funny. You know,
it
like,
was so funny.
I'll tell you what it was too.
Okay.
These dudes was looking at this young woman, and they was like really getting hyped up about her and really finna catcall.
Yeah.
Or really just was like, damn, look at her. Look, you know, dudes in the car was like really hyped up on this young woman.
Right.
And they was like, Anyi, damn, look at her. And I was like, I thought they was kind of, you know, I don't know, man. I thought they could have did, I don't know. I wasn't feeling her like that. I said she kind of looked like Jay Leno.
This is from Jersey.
And they started dying. Everybody was laughing.
And y'all swerved off the road.
Yeah, no, then he hit somebody after he stopped laughing. He was like, oh shit, and then tried to change lanes and then hit somebody. And then it didn't even hit me right then to do comedy. And no disrespect to the young woman, I just wasn't on the hype like that. You know, I preserved that. I don't be hollering out the car energy. Like, you gotta be really. Because it's like, if you holler out the car, they ain't gonna get you nothing. There's no success in that, you know. And it's not even for what though. Like fam, you know. It's, you know, and this was a daytime situation too. And it's like, man. But it didn't even hit me then. It was when they was exchanging insurance information. I was like, oh man. He was giving me a ride somewhere. I was gonna be late. I was like, oh, I should have just kept my mouth shut. I'm about to be late. I'm about to miss out on some money.
Right.
a mechanic about to make some money.
But you were like generally
I should
okay.
do comedy. I could make $500.
Right, and you walked away from that shit.
What?
Like, I mean, after the crash, you could stand and everything like
Well,
that.
it was a lane-to-lane stop sign thing.
Oh, okay.
That was just how funny I was, you know. That had nothing to do with the. But I think sometimes though, like, what if the situation was different and we was on the freeway or something? And I said something funny. You know what I mean? That shit like that, you gotta be careful out here, man. You gotta be like, damn. So sometimes I sit on what I say, you know, out of fear, but you should never really dim yourself, you know.
Not at all, man. No, not as a you know, someone who does what we do. Yeah. Everything you think, not everything, but
I mean, shit. Everything has its time and its place. That's true to you.
And how does marijuana affect your comedy? Do you write when you fucking smoke? You fucking perform high usually?
I don't know. I don't really conduct them types of experiments on myself like that. I usually more of a situational individual. Like, I'll be in situations. I might have had smokes. You know, I might have had met ups with somebody to talk game or something with some beverages.
Right.
Who knows what it is? So I just try to be prepared for whatever situation, no matter the state.
I feel you, man. And so before we wrap up, you got Pop Some Grits out right now.
It's Pop Grits,
Pop
you guys.
Grits, God damn it.
Pop Grits.
Pop Grits out right now. Can you catch it on iTunes and shit like
You
that?
can catch it on every digital streaming platform that you can stream or buy albums on. The entire catalog. Get Pop Grits though. Pop Grits.
Pop Grits. Anyi Malik. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Anyi Malik! That was fucking hilarious. He's usually our musical conductor. Tonight, he's our guest. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Norman Davis! Woo!
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But I shouldn't cheer for myself, huh? It's a dick move. So yeah, it's cool. Hi everyone. It's cool to be in front of the camera. Play a couple little things for you real quick.
Yeah.
I can't see my hands is the problem.
Gentlemen, Norman Davis! Usually you're over there playing everyone in and out.
Yeah.
You've been here since season 1, man. Since the fucking pilot.
Since the pilot episode, man.
You've
And it's
done
been a
like
pleasure, man.
close to like 40, 50 episodes now, and you're always fucking there, man. I really appreciate that shit. And you've been doing your show longer than I've been doing mine. Tell everyone what
A
your
little
show.
bit. Well, mine's been on hiatus for a little bit.
Right. Guys, Norman does this show. What's it called again?
Truth Noir.
The Truth Noir. And what it's about, it's like conspiracies and shit, right? That's basically like the best way you can put it.
We do conspiracies, current events and stuff like.
Really noir shit, like topics that people don't really want to touch.
Yeah, as far as
on.
like the French definition of the word, like dark truths that like the official story in the news is just so fucking whack that you're like, obviously this is bullshit.
Right, the 2 or 3 sources you have.
Yeah, like you start looking into it and
Right.
there's like a million other things that don't add up, and you start looking into those, and it's a rabbit hole. And it's why people, are like, oh, that's fucking bullshit. You're just a fucking whack job. But like, it's real shit that you can look up.
It's a difficult position to put yourself in, don't you
Yeah.
think?
Well, people, it's the people that put themselves in, and I'm not trying to compare myself to anyone that's done actual shit for society, but like, it's people that put themselves in those difficult positions that are necessary, because otherwise people like don't fucking learn.
Right. I mean, I've always given myself like the unbiased position of just understanding that there's like a 50-50 on every side, right? So
Sure.
I'm like completely diplomatic when it comes. I just want to know both sides, and I'm always on the fence about everything, but I like hearing that side of shit, and some people don't even like hearing about it. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, it's lawyers and politicians that have all these different versions of the truth, and there's even the lawyer joke that's like, all right, well, there's like 5 versions of the truth. There's your side of the truth, there's your opponent's side of the truth, there's what actually happened, there's what you can prove in court, and then there's what you can convince a jury of. Like that's the way our system operates, and it's horseshit. Like, there's an actual way the thing happened.
Right.
And that is, it's what I think it's what I strive for. It's what everyone should strive for. Is like, not all of these
What
bullshit,
actually happened?
Yeah, not all of these bullshit legal definitions of the truth, but like, what is it? What are we talking about? Like in all things, whether it's like fucking,
And what you focus on is major events that are displayed to us.
yeah, like stuff on the news that comes up that's
The best example is like Nevada.
Yeah, man, there were all kinds of, like, the thing happened and that sucks. There's a shooter that busted out a wall, and then there's like all kinds of surveillance camera footage, or there should be, right? In Las Vegas casinos, the most heavily surveilled places on the planet.
Right.
You got a guy bringing in fucking tactical shit in bags, like he's a suspicious looking character.
One old white dude took out half a fucking
ruined a bunch of people's
concert
days.
from like a mile and a half away.
Yeah, man.
And I'm not saying that didn't happen, but the accounts that you take into effect, like that you highlight on your show, just bring up another side that no one's talking
like just
about.
fucking ask some basic questions like, how is that guy able to get up the fucking elevator?
Right, he's old as shit.
Like, start with shit like that,
And he was
And-
rich.
Yeah, very well. Well, I mean, how else do you get all those fucking high octane guns, dude?
Yeah.
And also, that takes some training, right? Like, police officers running around shooting at shit, they'll shoot up half a goddamn neighborhood.
Right.
They ain't hitting 20 kids in the head with 20 very well placed shots.
It's just weird. You know? Other than the fact that everyone has cell phones, all this shit's available, and there's not as many videos as you think you'd see floating around. Either they're really good at deleting them, or they're making people do that shit. And they don't, it's not fair. Other than, the things that are happening, we have the right to see them.
Absolutely. And also, how many of these people do you see getting interviewed?
Right.
Like, there's an entire fucking concert, thousands of people.
Right.
And you hear from like one or two people the day of, maybe the day later. They don't do talk shows, they don't write books, really. Like, they don't blog about that shit. They just make one single major news media outlet appearance, and then you'd never hear from them again.
Shit, man. Anyi, what do you think, man?
Not gonna lie.
9/11 was an inside job.
Are you interested in the noir shit?
The dark stuff? It's a lot of stuff.
The counter news?
I watch Vice News.
There you go.
That's solid. That's a good
Al
start.
Jazeera.
Al Jazeera.
Dude, Al Jazeera is like that kind of opposite side of the problem.
That's like Mexican news. They show all the death and everything.
Like, it's a major media
So it's
outlet.
like it's too much going on right now.
Yeah, there is a lot.
There's a lot
You have to
going
want
on.
to look into it, right?
It's
It's
like
not something.
in and around the world, yes.
But,
Absolutely.
But yeah, man. But I admire those who do what they can to improve situations. And
Right, that's what that's what Norman's trying to do with this show.
Yeah, man.
So I always appreciate you
and
coming
yeah,
out.
so it's gonna be back on starting up in July.
July.
So it's coming
Look
up
out for
soon.
the Truth Noir coming back in July. You can check out all the episodes right now. You got, I don't know, how many seasons?
Like 60 episodes.
Yeah, guys. So you got a lot of catching up to do, a lot of noir news. Go look into it.
So,
Guys, make some fucking noise. Norman Davis! That's our musical guest right there. All right, let's get this show rolling.
oh, and we can't do that one. That's copyright. My bad.
So guys, that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, Hi Tonight Show episode 12. That's a wrap. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. That's it. Have a good night, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Channel 310. All right, that's a wrap. Boy, and I left him uncut, okay? Because that's some weird Jewish Egyptian shit they just made up. You have to be dehydrated in the fucking desert stacking bricks in the pyramids and shit to think that mutilating your kids is a good idea, man. Leave them the fuck alone. The kid just got here. You're already trying to take a piece? You trying to take a percentage? That's some typical Jew shit, trying to take a percentage. I don't trust those doctors, man. As a Mexican, I cut grass. We don't cut foreskin, okay? That's not our deal. We're gonna leave it like that.